Hercules and the Wagoner. A carter was driving a wagon along a country lane when the wheels sank down deep into a rut. The rustic driver, stupefied and aghast, stood looking at the wagon and did nothing but utter loud cries to Hercules to come and help him. Hercules, it is said, appeared and thus addressed him: "Put your shoulders to the wheels, my man. Goad on your bullocks, and never more pray to me for help, until you have done your best to help yourself, or depend upon it, you will henceforth pray in vain." Self-help is the best help. All right, so here's the message. Help yourself. Um, basically Hercules came down and said, "Look," and I love this phrasing, "Put your shoulders to the wheels, my man." Like this is like thousands of years old. I mean, of course it's been like translated and all that. Um, so maybe they're using the more modern colloquialism. So maybe it doesn't translate exactly, but it's still kind of cool. Put your shoulders to the wheels, my man. Goad on your bullocks, and nevermore pray to me for help until you have done your best to help yourself, or depend upon it, you will henceforth pray in vain. This reminds me of a joke. I come from a pretty mixed family, and my grandfather, in terms of a lot of things, culture, religion, but my grandfather was a Seventh-day Adventist minister, Samoan, and I've got a lot of, just definitely been very interesting in terms of, reading a lot of the Bible and a lot of texts, both religious and non-religious, or religious and secular, etc. But we also, obviously being in that milieu, we got some jokes. So this is probably a common joke. A lot of you probably heard this joke before. But basically, this guy is like drowning in the middle of the ocean, and and a boat comes by, and this guy's like super real. I'm probably like killing this joke, like ruining this joke. So hopefully, someone in the comments can write the joke in a clear manner. Um, so the guy was like super religious, believed in God, and and he's praying to God, please help save me. So this rescue ship comes to help him, and he's like, no, 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 God's gonna save me. And they're like, no, we'll save you. He's like, no, no, God's gonna save me. And then he's drowning some more, and then another boat comes, a bigger boat with more people that can help him, or and he's like, no, no, no. Maybe it's like a helicopter. Maybe it's like a modern day guy that is this believer, and they're like, look, we'll save you. And they throw in you know um, life preserver, and say, let's go. And he's like, no, 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 go on without me. God's gonna save me. Anyways, the guy drowns, and then he goes up to heaven. He says, God, you didn't save me. He goes, dude, I sent the boat around like 3 times. Like, what do you expect? It's so I obviously butchered that joke dramatically, but it goes without saying that it's really about like understanding the tools that are being used. So if if you can help yourself, or if you can be keen enough to understand the quote unquote score of like, hey, if I learn how to help my wheels get out from this rut, then I wouldn't have to need to call upon Hercules or all these gods of Olympus, etc. Um, to come help me. Um, and I think that connects with the story as well, because it's saying, look, you have to also know, like, what resources you're looking to lean on, and how exactly could God play a hand in the real world. He's not always gonna throw you an actual miracle, in the sense of like, oh, he's just gonna stop the drowning from happening, or he's gonna send some inanimate object to just come up right under you and just come float you back to the shore. Sometimes he sends human beings to come help you, or like a dog or a baby, to call 911. I mean, just So that's really what that story's about, and to sort of connect it with Hercules and the Wagoner, it's just saying, look, get better at being a Wagoner, and really learn about your vehicle and learn, and that way you won't even, you won't need to call upon, um, you know, me, says Hercules. So self-help is the best help. A lot of answers are inside. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. I think that's also one of the benefits people talk about. One of my really good friends, Ranjith, he used to meditate for hours and hours a day for years. I think he still meditates a lot, but not nearly as much. But I think he's sort of voiced to me that a lot of your answers are inside. Um, so and he says that meditation is a way to sort of like listen to that internal voice. And so self-help being the best help. So to try to reach inward before you reach outward doesn't mean that there aren't solutions outside yourself. Of course, I mean that's it, but it's saying that, look, lean on your own understanding, lean on your own brain, and that's really when it comes to like learning and growing and reading and just any kind of acquisition of knowledge of something new, like a new skill set, as an example. um, to really become a student of that, and try to lean on your own understanding and brain, and just keep picking yourself off, dusting yourself, picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and continuing to forge ahead. Self-help is the best help. I really like this story. It's short, but I think that it really reminds us that you know you've gotta we've got to believe in ourselves. And when I'm doing lessons, and helping students who sometimes aren't super confident in their own abilities, um, I always encourage them, to be okay with making mistakes, to be okay with struggling through being uncomfortable, but really leaning on your own understanding, your own research, your own brain, your own feelings about yourself, and what is possible, and what can be accomplished, and the joy of discovery, even if it's sloppy, even if it's not perfect, just the joy of you know putting forth your best effort. And I think a lot of times, not to get too hokey with some of these comments, but I think that ultimately you find that you can lean on yourself a lot, and that helps you be more resourceful, gives you more confidence, and it helps you accomplish more. But also just being able to rely on yourself. That's what this story is saying. Hercules and the Wagoner. Self-help is the best help. Thank you very much.